Have a moment of silence, please. Roll call, Corinne?
Counselor Galbraith?
Here.
Counselor Simon?
Here.
Counselor Tiarena?
Here.
Counselor Schneider?
Here.
Council President Chamberlain?
Here.
We have 5 members present. We have a quorum.
Okay. Council has had time to review the prior meeting's minutes. Can we get a motion to move forward on those?
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Motion to approve the prior meeting minutes moved by Counselor Galbraith and seconded by Counselor Simon. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you. Next, we have John Miles here to talk to us about, from the Historical Society, to talk about the depot and the upcoming event that you have coming.
Well, Mayor Huner, members of council, thanks for this opportunity to update you on the progress of our project at the Wauseon Depot. We had a really successful exhibit at the museum on the railroads of Fulton County. Probably the largest turnout of people to really come through the museum for an exhibit that we've had yet. People love trains. They love the depot also. So fortunately, that exhibit was actually designed to be moved to the depot when it was finished at the museum. So John Swearingen, our director, purposely designed it so that it was in modules and could be brought to the depot and installed. So it's double exciting because we're getting 2 exhibits for one. And if you have any idea how much work goes into building one of those exhibits, it's exciting for the folks that actually put it together. And just as a reminder, that exhibit was totally put together by volunteers from the Historical Society. Out of things that we have in our collection. And I'm always amazed what we find when we develop these exhibits. So you have to remember that we've been collecting since 1883, so we've got a lot of stuff. So we're in the process and are almost finished with installing that new exhibit in the depot. It will really beef up what was there before. There was a lot of stuff there, but it was just stuff that had been collected over time and people had put it here and there and everywhere. This new exhibit tells a story. And that's what we always try to do with any of the exhibits that we build at the museum, is tell stories. And it tells stories about people. So all the railroads that have come through Fulton County from the 1850s until current day, Norfolk Southern, are in the exhibit. And the 2 trolley lines that ran across Fulton County are also in the exhibit. So there was a line that came from the further north through Metamora, Lyons, and across, and then the other one came down through Swanton, Delta, Wauseon, Archbold, and across. Their goal was to get to Fort Wayne, but they never made it. They both went out of business in the 1930s, partly because of the Depression, partly because roads got better, cars and trucks took over, and we developed this lust to have our own wheels and go places, and instead of being able to get on a trolley in Lyons and go shopping in Toledo and come back the same day, we decided we wanted to do it in cars. So over time, it just they both went out of business. Thanks to Mr. Torbert, we were able to enhance the lighting in that building as well. I was amazed when we flipped the switch to see how much difference it really made. We installed track lighting in the up above, so they will be in their cans, so they're going to be able to highlight certain pieces of the display, but it just really brightens up that room. It's a beautiful inside of that building with all that woodwork, but it's really dark. And so at night, it was hard. If you had been there for Santa at the depot, you know how dark it was. We put lights in all the rooms. So one of the neat parts about this exhibit is that we are now also using the baggage room. It's the room to the far west that people never really got into because it was the junk room. And it's been cleaned up, and part of the exhibit is now going to be in there as well. So there are lights in there. There are lights in where Santa always has been. That is the men's waiting room. And there are new track lights in there. And then in the big room where the train layout has been, that was the women's waiting room. And there are new lights in there as well. So it's really going to be a lot brighter when you get in there. 2 new signs on the outside of the building were donated. Wauseon, one on the east end and one on the railroad side, just like it would have been when it was in use. So people coming through on the trains, if they look quick, they'll be able to see the Wauseon sign on the depot out there now. Very generous donation from a couple of our members for that. We also have received a donation of a brand new to us train layout. So the one that had been there is totally gone, and a whole new one has been put in. It's donated by a gentleman who is a member of the Historical Society, but also involved with the Swanton Railroad Club. And the Swanton Railroad Club has been working with him to put this thing together. It's huge. Same basic space, but it has so much more stuff in it. Okay, you really have to look to see all the things that are there, plus the trains and the trolleys that are running on it. So it's a big improvement from what's been there. Although people have enjoyed those trains for years and years, and now they're going to get an even bigger bonus when they come to see that. In addition to the layout, in the exhibit at the museum, we had a watchtower that kids could get up into. It's a square building that is there now, and so they will be able to get up and look down on this new railroad exhibit as well. So it's going to be really cool. The old railing stand that's always been there, that the kids, that's still there, but they'll also be able to get up and get into this watchtower and look out and see the trains as well. So double experience for seeing it. So the exhibits and the model layout have really enhanced what we're able to present at the depot. Many more items than what we were showing before, and they're all labeled so you know what they are. So I'm going to be curious to see how Santa works. We know the kids are going to want to come see the train, see Santa or whatever. The adults are going to spend some time looking at the panels and everything and see. So how we keep people moving is going to be interesting, but it'll be worth it to have enhanced the exhibit. So we are having a grand reopening on Sunday, June 15th, Father's Day. So if you want to treat yourself, you're welcome to come. Also on Friday the 13th, which I didn't realize.
Yikes.
Yeah, exactly. We're having a members only exhibit, and you're welcome to come to that too. That's from 4 to 7. The June 15th is 1 to 4.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thanks, John.
Is that enough for
Thank you
everybody?
very much.
Okay. And I'm going to just let you guys pass these around if you want, okay? So I hope you're able to come. There will be other opportunities. We do an open house on the third Sunday of the month. So obviously June will be the first one. There'll be one in July, one in August. And so it's unfortunate that we don't have the staff that we can have it open more than what we're able to do. We do it by appointment if people want to come. I know there are people that just go there and watch the trains, but they can't get into the depot. But if they make arrangements through the museum, we will make every effort to get them into it. And we're trying to do the same thing with Lauber Hill Meeting House over in German Township, since we've taken that over too. That is open the same Sundays that the depot is, so you could make a small little mini trip and see both of those facilities.
Is it same time, 1 to 4 on those?
1 to 4 on both,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah. And anytime that it'll be open for those open houses, the trains will be running. So we have volunteers from the Swanton group that will be there to run the trains. So it's been a real great collaboration with them.
That's good.
And those guys are amazing. It must be an addiction. They are really into those trains. And they have some fantastic pieces of equipment. Are there any questions that I can answer or whatever?
So the changes to the depot are still gonna allow for Santa to be there a couple
Oh,
of
yeah,
time? Great.
yeah, we couldn't not
Yeah.
have Santa on there.
Everybody looks
so-
forward to that.
That's always a good
We may have to arrange things a little differently, but there'll definitely be room there. And that's one of the major draws, so that people do get to come in and see what we've been able to do. So it'll be a changed experience for them, for people to
Look
come.
forward to seeing it.
Okay, all right.
Well, I appreciate
Okay,
you
well,
coming. Joe.
again, I appreciate the cooperation that we've had with you guys in operating this. We're attempting to do some outside painting. We want to paint the doors. They've faded quite a bit. Weather hasn't cooperated too well on that, so, but hopefully we'll have that done before the 15th. so.
And I like what Public Works did with the playground equipment next to it when they painted that. Looks really nice as well.
They actually found some miniature train, they're wooden toy trains that look just about like that. So there is, in the layout, you'll see a building that looks like the depot, and that little train set is there with it too. So, and there is a row of passenger cars that will not be running, but they each have the names of the towns of Fulton County on them, and they're all lined up together. So it'll be fun for people just to come in and see the different things that they can see. They've hidden a lot of stuff, but they've made it very focused on the county and Wauseon. So, okay, all right. Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it,
Thank
and I
you,
look
Jack.
forward to seeing you sometime to come see the depot. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna move real quick because Brandon has a ball game to go to, so.
Practice.
Practice.
Accommodate Brandon's schedule.
Yeah.
Listen.
He asked very
Listen
kindly.
here.
So after that, we're gonna move on to department head reports. And Chief Kessler's at a ball game as well in Liberty Center. And so we have Assistant Chief Nate.
Good evening. Just a couple things. Today, we started on another full-time position for an officer. Leslie Crawford started today. She comes to us with about 8 years' experience, previously of Kenton PD via Bluffton PD. So she filled the vacated seat of Matt McDonough, who retired here a few months ago. We did hire a part-time dispatcher, Alexandria Redmond. She actually started last Friday. She Comes with a lot of experience, not so much in the law enforcement community, but hopefully some stuff that'll help us out in the long run. And also today, we put on a part-time SRO, Kathy Zumfeldy. She came to us she was currently at the sheriff's office, been working at Evergreen Schools for their school resource officer for a couple of years. And as of Friday, I believe we had 34 kids for Safety City coming up. And Walmart was kind enough to donate 2 electric vehicles for them to do the thing. The other ones were pretty wore out and had to be disposed of. So they're working on getting those put back up. But we look forward to Safety City coming up here in the next couple of weeks. That's it.
Any questions at all? Okay, thank you, Dave. Keith?
Just a couple updates from Thursday. Bolton Street, we will begin the repaving, the patching of the dreaded potholes, as people love to call them. Down there from the water line, that will start tomorrow, should be finished up fairly quickly. And then the full repave will happen sometime after August, once we get that put out to bid and get it awarded. But we can't award it till after August 1st, so I'm not sure what time we will, what date they'll start on that. Also want to thank the residents of Tom's neighborhood in West Chestnut Street. We were able to get enough of the surveys back that we were able to get that income qualified. So we move on to the next phase of the grant process, and hopefully we can get that, knock on wood, along with possibly another grant to get that hopefully 50% paid for with grant funding.
Nice.
Keith had to go door to door.
He did not.
Yes, he
I
did.
I listened to
Yes, he did.
I did too.
I listened to the scanner. There was a lot of police officers.
Yes, I
going.
did, because there was a lot of people that weren't home, so Alexa, I gotta thank her. She went, she did go. I had 10 people that still had not responded, but she went out and went door to door. and-
Did you get registered? Did you register yourself for going
Yeah,
door
I
to
did.
door?
What's going on? That's not right.
But
A
I-
manhunt out there or something.
I do know how a Kirby salesman feels now.
We certainly get responses pretty quick.
Yeah, big dogs.
That's pretty good. Yes, he did. I was impressed. Any questions for Keith?
The pool parking lot has knocking property. Any
Mhm.
idea when that's gonna start?
Relatively soon.
Okay.
We may not be able to get it paved this year, but we should have the parking lot finished here. We're winding everything else up, and that should be getting started here. Just tying up a few loose ends, making sure we don't take down some endangered tree. But other than that, I'm hoping to get that started in the next week or two.
That tree that I mentioned to you, is that on private property?
Yes.
I figured it was. I went by and I thought it
Yeah.
was, so.
Because they were using the pool today. It's
Yeah.
finally warm enough, they were in it.
Will that open up on shoot? Or just, okay, I was thinking about that, I'm like, that would be a nightmare.
Yeah, boy, right there.
It's just going to bounce out into from Oak Street, just be overflow parking.
Better put a guardrail.
Now, I'm not saying that they're not going to drive over the sidewalk and go off that way, but no, we'll have that closed off.
All-wheel drive.
Probably with a golf cart.
Probably.
Wow.
Remember the council member that led that initiative? Man.
Oh, my goodness.
I took
We're not gonna
this
get out of
training
here,
about
Brandon, I can see
anti-bullying
it.
and apparently it did nothing for others.
Need a refresher already.
Jamie, what do you have for us?
So I have provided you with the month-end statement or financial statements for May. The income tax revenue is still holding steady at -2.5% for the year. That's about $75,000. So I think that's pretty good. And that's all I have for tonight.
Anything for Jamie? Tom?
In deference to councilperson Tiarina, I will yield my time to the honorable mayor.
Thank you, Tom.
I have nothing to report.
Alrighty.
If you were illegal, I would have let you know.
Anybody else? All right, let's move on then. And this is a very easy legislation today. We have nothing.
Committee
We've got a committee
Oh,
report.
committee reports.
Oh,
We
we-
do have a committee
It's
report.
gonna take a minute.
so.
All right.
That's it?
Building
No,
and
sit
grounds.
back. See
All
ya.
right, well, it started out when, we had a buildings ground meeting on the 19th after the last council meeting, and referenced the vandalism in the parks and the dog waste that was either left behind or thrown in the trees.
Yeah.
I think what we talked about putting cameras up in different locations. I did talk to my neighbor, the one gentleman that lives behind me. I was explaining what they were going through, and he has a business in California that he can do stuff too. So if we're having issues,
Oh,
he offered his opinions or expertise
that's interesting.
if needed.
Okay.
So, but I think if we put extra, I think we come to the conclusion, we put a couple extra trash cans and bags, as long as they
Use them.
if they either use them or they take them all. They don't use them or take them all.
Yeah, they're taking a lot of them,
The bags. Yeah.
just taking them home with
But if
them.
we can put cameras that just kind of monitor it throughout, I think that would
Yeah.
kind of get their attention. Maybe people pick their stuff up.
And I really want to reiterate the fact that Biddle Park and Rear Park are not dog parks. The only
Right.
one that Wauseon has available for walking your dog on a leash is Homecoming Park. And, you know, I think that's something that people just kind of forget, so.
And the rails.
And the trails, yeah, the trails, you can walk them on that too. But that's where you're also finding them hanging from the trees.
That's where I walk, yes, that's where I notice them, so.
We're just hoping to kind of get a word out more, and I appreciate the board meeting, and there was great discussion on dogs and canines and all of that stuff, having Jeremy and Heather both had a lot of knowledge on that, so thank you for that.
A lot of people don't realize the diseases that can be passed through
Mhm.
the fecal matter
Mhm.
to other dogs, and worms and stuff like that. I mean,
And that's one of the reasons for the leash law.
Correct.
Law is to not let them get off the leash, because you do not want them mixing, because that's where that happens.
and that's where I had 3 big Rottweilers were standing there. Some guy walked up and let his dog off the leash, which was about 20 pounds. And I'm like,
Nah, not good.
I mean, luckily my dogs are in control, but they were well fed at the time. They were. That is correct. I think once he realized where his dog was running towards, his attitude changed real quick. So he but I think that's more of a common practice for people just to let them run back and forth and then
Get them back.
call them back if they can.
And then the vandalism is just that.
And
you know.
yes, the vandalism in the bathrooms, so.
Hopefully we can kind of stop that too.
We set mandatory patrols. Every officer is required to check the bathrooms at least once during their shift, so we're getting them checked twice per shift. Hopefully we can start narrowing it down
Time.
if we can find out when this is happening, so, hope.
Well, unfortunately, you can't be everywhere all the time. So,
And we intend to not vandalize it when the police are out there, so it's kind of hard to pick up on.
Maybe we could station your Rottweilers close
Yeah,
by.
there you
There we go.
Not feed them that day.
all you gotta do is throw the food and they'll be gone. They're with it. Or pet them, that's it.
So right now, Mayor, the restroom issue, you haven't changed any
No action.
access to the restrooms right
No.
now, but that's in the cards, right?
Well, that and the dogs. I mean,
Yeah.
if it doesn't get any better, because the cost to the city is so huge with the Public Works taking like a full day or so just cleaning it up and Homecoming, because it's such a large area, and our bathrooms, for them to go in and vandalize, that's costly, to where, you know, what do you do? Because those are nice bathrooms for parks.
Yeah.
And you go to other places where you have a porta-john, and I would hate to do that, but when they keep breaking the sinks
Right.
and the toilets, and,
The other alternative is have the police department lock them and unlock them, but they've got better things to do than run around locking all the bathrooms.
and you could do that, and, you know, because the parks do close at 10.
Yeah.
But you do that, and then it happens during the day.
Correct.
So,
Yeah.
it, you know, because that's what happened when we closed them earlier that one year, I think it was, and years ago, because we were having that
So the
problem.
afternoon?
And I don't get it. You know, it's out there for them, for their use, and it just gets vandalized.
Yep.
Okay. All right, thank you. on to our uneventful legislation, which we have nothing under first, second, third. I actually have nothing under new business. Does anyone have anything? Or old business? So all we need to do is just pay the bills.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion to approve and pay the bills as presented, moved by Counselor Schneider and seconded by Counselor Tiarena. Any discussion? Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Counselor Tiarena?
Yes.
Counselor Simon?
Yes.
Counselor Galbraith?
Yes.
Council President Chamberlain?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Motion for adjournment, Brandon?
I'll make that motion.
Let's talk about some more stuff.
Hang on.
Is that you, Heather?
Yes.
Oh,
Motion to adjourn moved by Counselor Tiarena and seconded by Counselor Galbraith. All in favor?
aye.
Motion carries.
Bye-bye.
4th of July celebration.